Welcome to TV Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Berocca and therapy, what a charity worker on $75,000 spends in a week. It's a pleasure to bring them to life, how cartoonists saved Dad's army. Box office, Five Nights at Freddy's repeats #1 despite brutal 76% drop. Deputies investigate after armed suspect allegedly threatens crowd at Vieira Regional Park. It breaks our kids' hearts, how I'm learning to become a better sport parent. Berocca and therapy, what a charity worker on $75,000 spends in a week. The Sydney Morning Herald. The subject of this money diary is a 29-year-old marketing and fundraising executive who lives in Canberra, Australia. She earns a salary of $75,000 per year and her net worth is -$601. She has $6,000 in savings and a house in the UK worth roughly $617,555 AUD. She splits her monthly expenses with her partner and tries to save around $500 per month. She also has student loan debt and a UK mortgage. Throughout the week, the subject spends money on her daily commute, coffee, groceries, lunch, and therapy sessions. She also buys a gluten-free brownie, a protein ball snack, and some supplements. Her partner pays for her Spotify account, and they split the rent, bills, and joint expenses. She tries to save as much as possible, but worries about money and maintaining financial equality with her partner. The subject discusses her financial upbringing, including her parents' financial struggles and her first job as a pot wash girl at a hotel. She worried about money growing up and still worries about it now. She became financially responsible for herself at age 21 and has a small financial safety net. She has not received any passive or inherited income. Overall, the subject tries to be savvy with her money and is conscious of her spending habits. She values her independence and work ethic, which she developed through her financial experiences growing up. Despite her worries, she is proud of her ability to manage her finances and save money when she can. It's a pleasure to bring them to life, how cartoonists saved Dad's army. Telegraph. 5 missing episodes of the classic British sitcom Dad's Army have been animated and will be shown on the television channel Gold this month. The episodes, from 1968 and 1969, were thought to have been lost forever. However, audio recordings of the episodes had been made by fans and the scripts still existed. Charles Norton was commissioned by the BBC to animate one of the missing episodes in 2015. The project was so successful that he was given permission to complete the remaining 4. The process took 6 months and involved a team of animators from around the world. The episodes will be broadcast in black and white to match the look of the original series. Dad's Army, created by Jimmy Perry and David Croft, is one of Britain's most beloved sitcoms. It ran from 1968 to 1977 and was set during World War II. Its cast featured Arthur Lowe, John Le Mesurier, Clive Dunn and John Laurie. Box office, Five Nights at Freddy's repeats #1 despite brutal 76% drop. Yahoo! Universal and Blumhouse Five Nights at Freddy's has posted the biggest second weekend decline of the year. The film's 76% drop in takings is being attributed to the movie's simultaneous release on streaming service Peacock. In the film's second weekend, it took $19.4 million, bringing its total to $113 million, making it the highest-grossing horror film of the year. Deputies investigate after armed suspect allegedly threatens crowd at Vieira Regional Park. Yahoo! A man who threatened spectators at Vieira National Park in Florida has been hit by a car and is now in hospital. The incident began when a woman said she gave a ride to a friend who pulled out a gun and fired it. She fled the car and heard a gunshot. A man matching the suspect's description was then reported to have threatened people with a gun at Vieira National Park. It breaks our kids' hearts, how I'm learning to become a better sport parent. ABC. Parents who are too pushy with their children can cause long-term damage, according to a report in ABC News by Richard Hines. Sports psychologist Mary Woziner stated that the line between pushiness and abuse is blurred in sport. Woziner's research showed that 82% of children experienced some form of abuse during community sports participation. We used to accept these behaviors, and maybe now we're starting on that journey of realizing, actually there are long-term consequences to this. There is no evidence that these types of behaviors improve sport performance for anyone across the sporting spectrum, and yet we tend to accept it or say that it's necessary, she said. Watch the glorious full trailer for The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Roni Legacy, Peacock sets premiere date. Yahoo! Bravo has released a full trailer for The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Roni Legacy. The limited Peacock anthology series reunites iconic cast members from the original run of The Real Housewives of New York City, including Kelly Kaloran, Ben Simon, Luann de Lesseps, Dorinda Medley, Sonia Morgan, Ramona Singer and Kristen Takeman. Taylor Swift's 1989, Taylor's version, bows at number 1 with 1.65 million units, her best album debut ever. Yahoo! Taylor Swift's 1989, Taylor's version, has now gone down on the books as giving the singer her best first-week tally for an album ever. The release tops the Billboard 200 with 1.653 million equivalent album units. That puts it ahead of her previous personal best, which was 1.578 million for Midnights, released just over a year ago. A muted box office weekend without Dune, Part 2. Associated Press. This weekend, the box office felt the lack of what was supposed to be on the calendar. Moviegoers weren't lacking for options. The video game adaptation Five Nights at Freddy's repeated in first place. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour is still going strong. Sofia Coppola's Priscilla expanded nationwide. Oppenheimer returned to IMAX screens and several well-received indies opened as well. BBC's Liz Bonin, None of Us Want to Be Compared to Attenborough. Telegraph. Liz Bonin is a natural history presenter who has taken on challenges throughout her career, including campaigning against single-use plastics and documenting the effects of climate change. Her latest series, Wild Caribbean, aims to draw attention to the region's threatened ecology. The four-part series is Bonin's most personal to date, as her mother was from Trinidad and she spent many childhood holidays in the Caribbean. The series features local conservationists telling their stories, and Bonin hopes to give a voice to brown people that often don't get much airtime. The series is a departure from the grand cinematic style of other natural history documentaries, instead adopting a more observational, rough-and-ready approach. Bonin's career has not been without its challenges, however. She has suffered from burnout and sought therapy to cope with the anxiety caused by climate change. Bonin is not shy about sharing her political opinions on social media, and is determined to use her platform to call out broken politics and push for a better world. Cinefranco Film Festival highlights diversity of Toronto's francophone communities. Here's what to look forward to. The Toronto Star. Marcel Lean, founder of Cinefranco, Toronto's international francophone film festival, has a personal connection to the movie she chose as the Remembrance Day finale to the week-long event. Informed by France's colonial history in Africa, Tirailleurs is about a Senegalese man who joins the French army after his son is forcibly conscripted to the Tirailleurs Regiment during the First World War. That's a wrap on this week's news. We covered a range of topics, from personal finance to animated sitcoms, from sports parenting to music and film. Let's dive into the analysis and share some thoughts. First, we learned about a charity worker in Australia who shared her weekly expenses. It's always interesting to see how people manage their finances and prioritize their spending. It's clear that this individual is conscious of her money and tries to save when possible, but still worries about financial equality with her partner. Money can be a source of stress for many, but it's important to find a balance between saving and enjoying life. Next, we heard about the animated revival of the classic British sitcom Dad's Army. It's amazing what can be done with modern technology to bring lost episodes back to life. This is a great example of how dedicated fans and talented animators can work together to recreate beloved shows and preserve their legacy. In the world of movies, we saw that the horror film Five Nights at Freddy's had a significant drop in box office earnings due to its simultaneous release on a streaming service. This highlights the changing landscape of movie distribution and how it can impact box office performance. It's a reminder that the way we consume media is constantly evolving. Moving on to a more serious news story, an armed suspect who threatened spectators at a park in Florida was hit by a car and is now in the hospital. While this is a concerning incident, it's a relief to know that no one else was injured. It's a reminder to always stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity to the authorities. Shifting gears, we delved into the world of sports parenting and the potential long-term damage that can be caused by being too pushy with children. It's important to strike a balance between supporting and encouraging our kids in their athletic pursuits, without crossing the line into abuse or excessive pressure. Let's remember that sports should be a fun and positive experience for everyone involved. On a lighter note, we got a sneak peek at the upcoming series The Real Housewives' Ultimate Girls Trip, Roni Legacy. Reality TV fans will be thrilled to see iconic cast members from the original run of The Real Housewives of New York City coming together for this special reunion. Get ready for drama, glamour, and plenty of entertaining moments. In the music world, Taylor Swift's album 1989, Taylor's Version, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, breaking records and solidifying her status as a powerhouse artist. It's always exciting to see artists achieve new milestones in their careers, and it's a testament to Swift's talent and dedicated fanbase. Lastly, we learned about the founder of Cinefranco, Toronto's International Francophone Film Festival, and her personal connection to the films showcased in the event. This highlights the importance of representation and diversity in the film industry, as well as the ability of storytelling to shed light on historical events and underrepresented communities. That's all for this week's news. Remember, these stories are just a snapshot of what's happening in the world. Let's keep the conversation going and hear your thoughts. What stood out to you? Do you have any questions or opinions about the news? Let's discuss. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.